Hi, my name is Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. This is Beauty from Inside and Out. And today we're talking about must-have in our summer bags. I've got several things that I think you should have in your bag. We're gonna be in the outdoors in this scorching heat of the summer months.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Okay, so let's get into this, right? Like, how many of us hasn't this happened to? You're out for the day and you planned it, but you didn't really plan what you were gonna have or should have in your bag when you're gonna be outdoors for several hours. I don't care what it is. It could be a beach party, a kid party, a barbecue, a day at the park. I mean, I don't know. Fill in the blank. Like, we just don't plan ahead of time. We'll plan for everything else except what we're gonna have in our bag. Because the bag for us ladies, it's like, it's a must. We just have them with us. Now, I'm talking about, you're gonna be out all day. I have here a pretty large bag, okay? This one I got over at Amazon, very inexpensive, but I use it when I know that I'm gonna be out for the entire day outdoors, or maybe in and out, like in this scorching heat. Normally I have like a cross body bag, carry my essentials. Now I'm not gonna mention the obvious thing that we're gonna have in our bag, which is like our wallets. That's a must. We need it for our license if we're driving, right? But these are like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that when it is so hot out and you need some kind of relief, or you just don't notice it until you're in the middle of the muck. Okay, let's get into the first thing I have in my bag. These are in no particular order. I'm just gonna grab one thing at a time out of my bag that I have set aside for when I know I'm gonna be out all day. So I think the obvious is sunglasses, right? I don't know about you, but when it is extremely sunny out, and for whatever reason, when those clouds they just kind of reflect off the sun, and it just blinds you, like completely blinds you. And when you have a pair of sunglasses, it's gonna help kind of shade that off. So I always have, whether in my car or in my purse, a pair of sunglasses. I got these, I think also like on Amazon, guys. These are so pretty. They're big framed. It really covers quite a bit of my eyes around, not only for just the sunshine, but also like covering like for my face, under my eyes, above my eyebrows, right? Like just to make sure I'm protected by the sun. So a great pair of sunglasses. And let me show you another pair that I also have. And I think I was gifted these, but these are so cute. I don't even know the name of the brand on these, honestly. They don't say, but these are more kind of on the cutesy side. You can see through it. I don't think it protects too much of that sun. I see the light it's more lidded when I have them on, but they are cute. They're very large frame also, but again, you can choose whether you want one or two pair of sunglasses. I usually have one, like I said, in my car, and then the other one in my go with another item, a large hat that is bendable, right? I mean, you want something that you can easily tuck in your bag. A lot of times the straw hats are really pretty and they are large rimmed, but you can't fit them in a bag. So this one, I think I got like on vacation, when I was on vacation a few years ago in California, but it has the very large rim. You can kind of adjust it so that you can have it closely lit to your face, so that it doesn't kind of fly away, right? If you're outdoors, you can clearly pull it up away from your face. But look how large this is. Again, protects you from the sun, and you're under shade, so you don't get as hot, right? So a large rim hat, I think, is perfect, but something that you can, again, just fold, tuck away. It won't take up a lot of room in your purse, right? Look how easy this goes. And then when you open it up, it doesn't matter, it doesn't wrinkle. It's purposely made for that. Moving on, let's go to the next one. This one's interesting. I don't know if many of you may think this or not, but I remember one year we were out all day and it was just like unbearably hot. I live in Florida where it is scorching, humid, sticky. There's sometimes no breeze. And what you need is just a poof of air. A mini fan. Like, guys, get something. You can get something much cuter than this. I've had this one for a little bit. It just serves its purpose when you're just needing a little bit of relief, right? You can change the speeds. It can go higher. Make sure that it's well charged. You can, you just need a USB to charge it. So make sure that it's nice and charged for all day. But this comes in handy. And I mean, it doesn't take up a lot of room in your nice big for the day bag. The next thing is we really should stay hydrated. So some kind of a container to hold water. Now, I like this one. I am looking though into getting the hydro mug, I think it's called. I'll put a picture here. You can get them over anywhere, I think even on Amazon. But I like it because it doesn't spill over. Now I can sit this clearly like in this bag as long as I know that I'm gonna be holding the bag upright. But if not, then I think a hydro jug would work, because if it does tip over, then you don't have to worry about it spilling into your bag, right? It makes sense. But hydrate, like stay hydrated. I think sometimes we wait until the last second to then go, oh my gosh, I'm thirsty. And sometimes it's too late at that point. Like you'll be dehydrated at that point. So I carry some kind of container that you have some water and that you can kind of constantly stay hydrated. Okay, I have a very interesting one that you may, I would love to know what you think about it. I'll save that for the end. So keep watching, hang tight, and that's gonna be my last one that I'm gonna show you. I don't know how many of you would think that's a good idea or not, but you'll have to wait till the end to see. Okay, let me get into this other one. We know that we clearly should be reapplying our sunscreen, right? Especially if you are going to be outdoors. And so I think this one is really, really good. I like something that I can spray on. Does that make sense? Because I really don't want to have to then feel like I've got to run and go wash my hands. Typically, your sunscreen is going to then like either stay on your hands and then they feel kind of mucky, like you want to go ahead and get them cleaned. So I like a spray, and this spray is not bad. It's called Super Spritz. It's an SPF 50. So I just, every maybe like 30 minutes, right? Just spray it over like my face, and something that's clearly not too big, that won't take a lot of space in your bag. So keep that in mind for reapplication on your sunscreen. But thinking of sunscreen, we tend to forget our lips. And I have shared this before. I think this is such a great lip balm to have in your purse, besides maybe any gloss. Like it's a triple multi lip balm. Okay, it gives you color. This particular one, it's a tint. So, and it comes in different shades. This one is called Choco, I can't read it. Choco Cake, I think. But let me show you the tint on that. Look how pretty. Okay, it comes again in different shades. I'll put the photo here. Pinks and some corals, and just really, but it has SPF. That's my main concern. We tend to neglect our lips for whatever reason when it comes to protection from the sun. And having that SPF, it's not very high. I think it's 15, but is some protection. Along with, it has hyaluronic acid in it. It has vitamin E. So it's a skincare protection for your lips. Very interesting. I thought this was really good to have, and it's so easy to reapply, right? The other thing I think is really good too is this prep mist. Now, it's not a setting spray. It's really, and this is kind of how I use it all year long, but I thought it was so appropriate for this time of year when you're kind of needing a little bit of that cooling sensation. Think about this combo. You'll go ahead and you will, let me set up the ambiance of what I'm trying to picture out here. These are very common in the West Coast. The very first time I saw this was in Palm Springs, out in the desert in California. And it was the middle of the summer, so hot, different kind of heat than Florida. Florida's heat is humid, but it's very dry. And they had these misters that were along the outside of all the shops as you were walking in these outdoor shopping centers. And it was genius because it's a mist. It's just misting you as you're walking, and you're getting refreshed. You're not drenched. You don't get really wet per se, but it's a mist. And I love that. And so this is kind of where that comes in. This mist, prep mist, I'm using it for that. I like to that when I am feeling really kind of just extremely hot, I just take this mist, and this is kind of the combo thing that I do. And then I'll tell you like the whole thing about the misters that I saw over in Palm Springs. But you take the mist, right? And you just, it's a mist. It's a mist. It's a clear mist. But if you then take your minivan and you hit that up high, you will then feel that cooling sensation with that mist, and the air instantaneously will bring the degrees down by a lot. Okay, so that combo I think is so good because the mists that I saw in these outdoor in this outdoor shopping center, along with the misters that were spraying, they had the fans that were blowing. So it just makes sense. You know, you want a little bit of that relief with the air coming in and the water hitting your body. It instantaneously gives you a sense of relief. So you can get this mister. I mean, any water would be fine. The only difference with this particular one is that it has really good ingredients for your face. So doing kind of like I said, a double purpose. You know, you're getting cooled off, but then you're also treating your skin really nicely with what it has inside, not to mention it smells so good. So if you're interested in this, you can get this at my Saint website, and that's always at the bottom. Same thing with the lip balm that has the SPF. In the shopping for Celeste, you can grab one of those and grab your favorite shade. Okay, let's move along and see what else I have in my bag. I think these are very interesting too. Now, I don't think that they carry it anymore, Saint, but they are blotting paper, right? Like, how many times, if you are out and about, whether you're wearing makeup that you want to keep intact, or sometimes you don't want to maybe smear some of the very basic makeup that you do have on over your face, and having like these blotting paper sheets, I think come in handy. You can look for them. I'm sure you can find them anywhere on Amazon, or just look around and Google and see where you can find these. But these are so good. Once you have like all of that perspiration on your face and you take this blotting instead of taking a tissue, because what happens when we use tissues, ladies? If you mix a tissue with any kind of moisture, you're gonna have a hot mess on your face. You're gonna have tissue paper, you won't even know about it. You're hot, you're irritable. blotting paper. I'm telling you, it works. I clearly don't have any moisture on my face, but you can take that and it comes in handy to remove that perspiration on your face, and just remove that extra water that's on your face. Okay. Now, if you've been hanging to the end, because this is my last one, this is the one that I thought was interesting. It's a little bulky, but if you're carrying a bag that's large, like the one that I'm showing you here, you can fit it in there, right? But I thought it worked. And let me tell you when I used it. Although I'm going to carry it in my bag this summer as I'm out and about and really test and see if it'll work. If I can only get my hands on water. Well, probably hence having maybe my water jug, I can maybe take that and put it over it. This towel. Okay, so this is a cooling towel. I don't know how many of you have seen this. And if you have you tried it? What do you think of it? Because I'm going to tell you how it worked for me. Okay, so first of all, this is let me go ahead and pull it out. So it is like stiff, it's hard, okay? But the whole idea is that you will pour water onto this towel and you wring it out and it immediately gives you a cooling sensation on your skin. So think about places that you typically need a little bit of relief, and when you put it on there on the back of your neck, I know for me, I've tested this, you put the coolness in the back of your neck and it affects your whole body. It immediately just brings the temperature down on your body. So you do need water, and that's the only issue. But like I said, if you have a water jug, then you can use some of that water because it saturates pretty quickly, okay, the way that it's created. But it says it here. It's a cooling towel, lightweight, and it's ideal to help prevent overheating and assist in cooling down. All you need is water to activate it. So I used this almost a year ago when we had a hurricane here in Florida and we lost power for a couple of days. And it was so hot. I mean, think about it, right? No power. The air is just so still outside. You're needing some kind of relief. You don't have a fan. Well, if you have like a little mini fan, clearly you can have that, have it energized, right, to go ahead and use. But you're like, I need something. Like, you start to get desperate. And I had this. And again, all you need is water. So I went ahead, wrung it over water, wrung it out, and placed it like on the back of my neck, on my chest, like on my forehead. And let me tell you, it gave me an immediate feel of relief, of not feeling so hot. Yes, you're still going through the heat of it, but all of these little things, I think when you're out and about and you don't necessarily think about everything I've mentioned, right? Until all of a sudden you hear it and you're like, that's not a bad idea. But I really want to know if you've tried this. Would you try this? And if you do, let me know what you think about it. But leave in the comments, what are you putting in your bag to kind of keep yourself cool this summer? Or if you do have any of the things that I've mentioned, tell me that you have, which ones they are, and how they worked for you. I'd love to hear your response on this topic. But happy summer with your summer bag and all your keep cool items to keep the day nice and relieved of the heat. Okay, I'll catch you on my next one. I'll see you next week. Bye.